looks like I'm gonna be live here pretty soon. Let me get up one more picture. You should be able to see my live. Yep, because it's gonna get the truth out. One thing you can't do is stop the truth from getting out. The truth got to get out and be told about them. Though I'm against Paige Clarkson, I've been against her, and the reason why I've been against her is because of Douglas Christopher Hanson and his situation. But we're gonna give you a picture of who Paige Clarkson is too, because I think it's fair to say the least that this woman, Paige Clarkson, which I'm going to bring up here, has in fact been telling the truth. There's a letter. Where could I put her? Where could I put her? Yeah. Sorry about the. Sorry about that noise. You're gonna see that anyways. You're gonna see that anyways. But I'm gonna leave Paige Clarkson right up underneath Douglas Hanson. Right up underneath him. Because there was an actual letter that I had came across. I had came across it on just reading. Well, I didn't come across it. My wife came across it, and I told her, "Let me see that letter. Let me see what that letter talking about." Because these attorneys, David Brian Kuhns right here, you will see him, and Martin Charles Habekost, are public defenders that were working closely with the corrupted Douglas Hanson. I don't care what nobody say, how they want to view it. What should be going on is y'all should be sharing this down to those people because um, even though I was against Paige Clarkson in the beginning, that's not necessarily the truth now. And what I want to do is bring up the letter that I'm talking about because I don't want to put words in their mouth, right? You don't want to ever put words in somebody's mouth. You want to go off of the letter. You want to go straight on what they talking about. And what I'm saying here is we're gonna cover up the public defenders, right? We're gonna cover those two guys up for the time being, and we're gonna read the letter dealing with how. And there was a specific paragraph, not even a paragraph in this letter, because this letter is to Paige Clarkson, and it's from all these attorneys right here. Let me try to check this. This is not the best office to have right now, especially during the airplanes flying. But anyways, I'm gonna get into this. Hopefully, my dang, I'm not gonna delete this. Sometimes you just gotta wait till it pass. So, the ones that I'm talking about is David B. Kuhns and Martin Charles Habekost. There's no way that I won't read the letter to Paige Clarkson and not say, hey, if she's telling the truth. Because if you know anything about me, Matthew Mayfield Johnson Jr., I have a case out of Marion County 14C 42686, which really breaks down this letter. And what I was concerned with is the fact that these attorneys on this letter, one being David B. Kuhns and Martin Habekost, they out of pocket. Because if Paige Clarkson, this elected DA, which once was Douglas Hanson's trial court supervisor, so I don't see how Douglas Hanson was ever given the approval to take me through pre-trial motion hearings, to take me through any of the crap that he did. You know why? Because he had public defenders in his back pocket. He had a judge in his back pocket. And at this time, Paige Clarkson couldn't, her hands was pretty much tied up because her superior was Walter Biglow. Walter Biglow was basically her boss. So she couldn't hold Douglas Hanson accountable for anything at the time. So this is another reason why I was kind of upset with her. But in reading about Paige Clarkson and understanding what type of woman she is, I think she deserved the job. I think she really deserved the job. Take it from me. You hearing it from somebody who absolutely cannot stand Marion County at all. I've been exposing them for 7 straight years. 7 straight years. Nobody has ever done it better than me. No other defendant that can tell you, oh, you ain't the only black person that went through a situation that you talking about, but I'm the only black person that's been able to figure them out and expose them. And we not. Hello. I'm gonna have to call him back. I'm in a meeting right now, Dad. Is he gonna be by your phone or do he got a phone number? No, let me talk to him. Hold on, I'm gonna step out. Tell him to take my number down and call me. Hello, bro. What's up, bro? Shit, I'm on this meeting right now. Nigga, come over here and get your ass over there. Hey, that's good. Stay out the way. Hey, stay out the way. Niggas is dying out here. Yeah, man. Stay out the way. Hello? Yeah, I'm trying to get this case done, Dad. Yeah, my same case, I'm going to the Fed. I have to exhaust all my state remedies. Why people think I'm playing? I ain't playing no damn game. I ain't finna be keep on registering at no sex offender towards my wife. Fuck that. Hell no. They keep taking me to jail for it though. So eventually a nigga gonna have to do it again. But I to take that. Sorry, guys. And I'm gonna be back on this real quick. Real. I don't even know where I left off at, but I will start off by talking about Paige Clarkson and her letter, which is an actually good letter. I thought it was a good one, solely because it talked it about Douglas Hanson's corrupted behavior. Now, the question that we have to ask Ms Clarkson is, why would she write in a letter that uh right here, if you look right here, it says, you have also implied that we would try to buy better results for our clients from your office. Now, dang, why would Paige Clarkson say that? Why would she even put that? Why would she be even willing to put that type of scrutiny on her office if it wasn't true? Now, all Paige Clarkson really have to do is find a person like me to back her truth up. I really sincerely believe that she's telling the truth. That in fact, that where is it at? In fact, that they were buying better results. There's no way that a person like me be charged with a severe crime the way that they charge me and not send me to prison. No public defender from the Marion County Association's pool, right? Martin Habekost and David being Kuhns wasn't all public defenders given to me by the courts. They were from a special pool because one of the public defenders, one being Jessica Kemphy, had raised a conflict of interest because I kept on complaining about a public defender by the name of Carrie Weiland, which I call Carrie Lyland. She actually moved down to Benton County. Every one of these attorneys that I'm talking to you about that had dealings with Douglas Hanson is actually gone. They actually have left the Marion County DA's office, even Douglas Hanson. And I'm surprised having nobody reached out to me and asked or interviewed me about this guy. These people is fully corrupted. Paige Clarkson know it, and she's cleaning up house. As a new elected DA, I think that's what the job of a new DA consists of, is seeing where, in fact, the corruption lies and how to clean it up. I commend her. Now, I don't have to read the letter to explain and show the tremendous amount of evidence on these people. They already know it. They already know it exists. They know it for themselves. As a matter of fact, Douglas Hanson left the Marion County DA's office in hopes to try to stop me from exposing it even further. And one thing I've been telling you guys is that when they know they done you wrong, all they can do is retire. All they can do is go into retirement. I always thought that Paige Clarkson was a person that just did not care. But that wasn't the case. It was the fact that once upon a time, Walter Bigelow was in office, and Douglas Hanson thought he was gonna be taking over for Walter Bigelow as the new elected DA. But that, I says, you directly stated that we as criminal defense attorneys are so reprehensive that merely associate us with tarnishing others people's reputation. You have also implied that we will try to buy better results for our clients from your office. This constitutes a false and therefore defamatory statement, which is a lie. She's telling the truth. Let let let's go into let's move this, because to me, I know for a fact that Paige Clarkson is telling the truth about not only Douglas Hanson, but there's Tobias Teamlift, there's Nellie Wright, there's Jillian Fisher. There's a lot of DAs that she speak of that was involved with trading off convictions, trading money, trading. Uh, I call it coercive behavior, even though they might not think that it's coerciveness of what they doing. It actually is. When you look up the definition of coercion, it tells you that someone is intimidating you or somebody is forcing you to do something against your will. And Douglas Hanson, he's been a man that I've been fighting for 7 years, and he plays around with digital stakeout. He plays around with a lot of stuff. Now, let's get rid of this letter and get back to breaking down the actual facts of why I believe that Marion County DA Douglas Hanson was in fact paying Martin Charles Habekost and David Brian Kuhns in order to get better results, to make them look like they these top notch attorneys. They not these. Sometimes you just gotta let the airplane pass, but they not these high top notch attorneys that y'all think of, right? And I'm gonna actually switch the scene so y'all could see who's actually orchestrating this, and it's basically gonna give you a different version. See, I'm sitting in the garage, so it doesn't matter how my kids play pen look. But I wanted y'all to see who I am, right? I wanted you to understand that Douglas Hanson, in fact, was working alongside another public defender. These not public defenders like Paige Clarkson is talking about. Gail Ryder also included in this mix, even though she didn't sign the letter petitioning Paige Clarkson. Paige Clarkson knowingly know the truth about Douglas Hanson, Susan Tripp, Gail Ryder, all of their get down. And I think it's crazy that nobody is paying attention. Nobody is paying attention to this. Hello? See, that's what people like Douglas Hanson do. They try to call you to throw you off your game. He watching me, trust me. He probably got his little cell phone sitting at work looking to see what I'm gonna say. It's crazy. Well, if that's the case, Douglas Hanson, you already know that until I die or something like that, man, it's gonna be nothing but telling the truth about you. Nothing. I tell the truth. So I'm gonna switch back to the main reason why I was here. But my breakdown before it all was Susan Tripp, Gail Ryder, and Douglas Hanson. But before Gail Ryder, there was a Kuhn, right? A Brian Kuhn, a David Brian Kuhn. Now people don't want they want to try to expose Paige Clarkson. No, they need to take a very good look at themselves. They need to take a very, very good look at themselves and what they have done to add to the corruption of my case. And what I will tell you is that y'all already know me. I keep a tremendous amount of paperwork, pictures on everybody that I've been involved with. And when Paige Clarkson actually wrote that letter, and then the public defenders such as Martin Habekost and David Kuhns right here wrote to her saying that she made false statements. How, when there's proof out there, how did this woman, Paige Clarkson, make false accusations about illegal dealings with prosecutors out of her own office? Ain't that so? What I did for all all of them, right? Not Douglas Hanson, because I don't like talking to him. Is I actually wrote an email. I actually wrote this email. Hi, my name is Matthew Mayfield Johnson Jr. I'm writing you this email in regards to the public article dealing with Mrs. Clarkson. And I'm gonna read it from the site, right? Because I want y'all to see I want y'all to see who I'm talking about. So I'm gonna read it from over here. Hi, my name is Matthew Mayfield Johnson Jr. I'm writing you this email in regards to the public article dealing with Ms. Clarkson comments to some of the public defenders of Marion County, such as David B. Kuhns and Martin Charles Habekost, out of Marion County Association's Public Defense Office, listed May 5th, 2022. I would like to explain a bit about these two attorneys, let's see. Sorry, it clicked off. I would like to explain a bit about these two attorneys and why I agree with the comments made by Mrs. Clarkson and why they are true. In the letter, it stated that Mrs. Clarkson have directly stated that we, as criminal defense attorneys, are reprehensible, that merely associate us with tarnishing other people's reputation. This is a true statement given the facts in my case 14C42686 and how I was treated by the two so-called public defenders that claim they protect people's rights. Brian David Kuhns and Martin Charles Habekost. The two the two attorneys also made claims that Mrs. Clarkson make making accused. Hold on, what did I say? Oh, the two attorneys also made claims of Miss Clarkson making accusations of how they will try to buy better results for their clients from the Marion County DA's office. At this point, I will agree with Mrs. Clarkson's statement of fact. Therefore, Mrs. Clarkson's statement of fact does not constitute false statements. It is in the public's best interest to hear from those clients that were represented through Brian Kuhns, David Brian Kuhns, and Martin Charles Hopcost. I know all too well from them representing me. Martin Habekost and David B. Kuhns once was my public defender in case number 14C42686 while working closely alongside the corrupted DA Douglas Hanson out of the Marion County DA's office. Ms. Clarkson was Douglas Hanson's trial court supervisor who was lied to about my case and how it even got to a trial stage. To me, coercion, the practice of pursuing someone to do something by using force or threats, pressuring somebody, pressuring. That's what they do. They press. They full court press you. They make you do. And how Douglas Hanson was doing it is because he kept on reminding these public defenders of Susan Tripp. Susan Tripp wasn't just no judge, man. She had major pull at the Oregon State Bar, and I will do another video on solely why Susan Tripp retired. Right. So when I tell you that Miss Clarkson, Miss Paige Clarkson, was Douglas Hanson trial court supervisor. How did she not know nothing about my case? How did she not know that Douglas Hanson filed pre-trial motion hearings? How did she not know that he asked for continuance of trial? How did she not know? And you know, another thing that I find frivolous is that these public defenders normally know that the DA forged grand jury proceedings, and they never want to contest it. They never want to contest the validity of corruption. They want to go along with it. You know, they don't want to file the correct paperwork. They don't want to step up to the plate and defend. Now, my situation with David Kuhn is way different than the situation that I had with Martin Charles Habekost, because even though Martin Charles Habekost knowingly knew what he was doing was incorrect and was wrong, he still went along with it. Meanwhile, David Kuhn's position was to help me uh, take the deal, was to convince me that I was guilty and that I had no innocence, and that the DA Douglas Hanson had all this tremendous amount of evidence, right? So when we look at my files, right, everything is in its order, chronological order is what I would say. When I talk about David Kuhns, you'll see that I had Carrie Weiland, Jessica Kimfey, David Kuhns, Gail Ryder, Ron Chananudich, Martin Habekost, Coben Patterson, Jediah Peterson. I have way too many public defenders in this case. Way too many. Two of them is for appeal attorneys. The other ones is just flat out just, well, three of them actually is for appeal, direct appeal, post conviction relief, and then review of my appeals. That's how I got all these attorneys. But I want to stick to David Kuhns real quick. David Kuhns, we on Hugh, because there's a lot of information that shows that Ms Clarkson is telling the truth about David Kuhns, at least David Kuhns, and I can say Martin the Habekost. They don't want to give credit where credit is due. I I'm not like Paige Clarkson. I expose everything. I expose the fact that this man got disciplinary action. He shouldn't even be a public defender if you ask me. He look at I'm not even going, I'll let the paperwork do the talking for him. But on top of my emails of him and me explaining the law to an attorney, I'm not an attorney. But here it is. I'm telling y'all Oregon revised statute codes in support of my defense, and y'all overlooking that, and y'all telling me I'm guilty. I never ever had an attorney that did the type of things that these two did to me. Martin Charles Habekost was just a quiet person. He knew what they was doing was wrong, and just like they say, the less you say, the less you will get in trouble for it, right? Martin Habekost knew that if he did anything in this situation, because he had to have known that I investigate. He had to know that. Somebody had to told him watch Matthew because he collects paperwork and he's all about it. But with me, I'm like this. I let the courts catch you up in your own acts. When you put things on court audio transcripts and a record recorded, the defendant have every right to those recordings, and that's what I've learned in this situation. In order to catch these people up, I wish like crazy that Paige Clarkson would not listen to Douglas Hanson, the Attorney General, Ellen Rosenblum. And the reason why I add Ellen Rosenblum in it because she trusted Douglas Hanson. She trusted Douglas Hanson. Ellen Rosenblum trusted Douglas Hanson. Remind you that Douglas Hanson was the chair for the domestic subcommittee for for her, right? At the DOJ, Department of Justice. This man is the most powerful. He was more powerful. He was more powerful than hold on. Douglas Hanson was more powerful than Walter Bigelow, the elected DA. He was more powerful than him, which is crazy to me. Douglas Hanson, that's why if you Google him, if you Google Douglas Hanson, you will see a tremendous amount of paperwork dealing with me, dealing with me. And we start by doing it like this. Right? If you look, oops, I spelled his name wrong. Anyway, it went to it. But if you pay attention and you looking on your Google, right, you will see a tremendous amount of evidence. You'll see how in depth I get. You'll see me telling the truth. You'll see me not just running my mouth about the situation. You'll see me posting evidence. You'll see me posting. And this is a situation that Paige Clarkson had to clean up. It's her office that did it. These public defenders, David Kuhns, don't care about nothing. They don't care. They they if it was up to them, they'll pay me off to keep me quiet, right? But I'm not the type that's gonna get paid off. Just like you try to hold me accountable, Douglas Hanson, you gotta be held accountable. So if you on your Google drives, right? Douglas Hanson, he's so good at hiding my information that he'll put it in the back parts, but uh, where nobody could see him, right? So, but if you just go to all, right, even on under YouTube, even under YouTube, dang, I will tell them in my email that I wrote, just like I told them in emails, I want them to go to YouTube and type in corruption and then type in Douglas Hanson. And you will see a tremendous amount of videos. You don't have to be signed into my account to do this. You just go there. There's videos that show Ms Clarkson is actually telling the truth. But then on the flip side, before she start telling that truth, she wasn't trying to hear me or my wife out. She still don't. I can call down there and ask to speak with Mrs. Clarkson, and I won't get no action. I won't get no action. Right? I did such a I to me I did such a good job on Douglas Hanson. They made him leave the Marion County DA's office. My concerns is with the public defenders and why they even did me dirty. Brian Kuhns know that Brian Kuhns know that Douglas Hanson violated a lot of my rights, right? And this is how I teach. This is how I teach people what I'm talking about. Is you go over here and you go to Oregon Revised Statute. That's what the ORS. Let's capitalize it all, right? And you gotta know your penals, right? You gotta know those 255. No, is it 225 or 255? Let's see. And when you look up certain information, it doesn't. I was I look up penal codes to support attorney-client privilege applies for every one of us. They violated all of this, but what I wanted to go to is 255, and it's basically a spousal privilege. And then you go up under it right here and you look at it. In any criminal proceedings, neither the spouse during the marriage should be examined adversely against the other as to any other matter occurring during the marriage unless the spouse is called as a witness, consent to testifying. Right? Now, Gail Ryder was my public defender. Kuhn also knew this of a spousal privilege. He's an attorney. Martin Charles Habekost, they all know about the spousal privilege. How can I prove that? Huh? How can I prove that I was telling the truth about my spousal privilege? Nobody ever did what I did. Nobody. I got secret recordings of these attorneys and they corruption. Paige Clarkson gotta be telling the truth. She gotta be wanting to like actually make a difference in Marion County because no DA would make a claim that DAs from her office is paying the public defenders for better results in criminal convictions. That is a big situ. That's beyond a big situation. So what we looking at is I took these people through the ropes, through the ropes. When I when I tell you I took them through the ropes, I'm a find I'm a let's get this over here so I can see it on my other computer. I'm gonna find that the email that talks about that spousal privilege. I spent a tremendous amount of time emailing Gail Ryder, right? And then they try to turn around and only used the emails that Gail Ryder said to me and none of what I said to her. Gail Ryder was never talking to herself. For all this is the thing that they don't understand is they was talking to me, my wife, and my friend Nick. So I told you about this. I told you that I was in emails with Gail Ryder. Let's see if I could get this. Your pending Marion County charges. Let's just read this whole thing, right? This email is to give you an update on the research and trial strategy planning that I have been doing for you for your case. I have reviewed all the materials, including all the materials provided to me by, what do you know, David Kuhns, which David Kuhns didn't give her anything. David Kuhns didn't give her no materials, do nothing to investigate nothing. She lied to me. By David Kuhns. Those materials include some reports about your physical condition at the time of your arrest and an interview on June 18, 2014 of your wife Jessica Johnson by Pamela Bilderback, an investigator for the public defenders of Marion County. I have been considering whether to file motions to attempt to prevent your wife from testifying under Oregon Revised Statute 42.55. OEC. That's a federal code right there. 505, husband wife privilege. The rule read as follow. And Gail Ryder went as far to copy and paste this to me in an email, and she took out certain parts of it so it wouldn't be so confusing. But at the same time, it's like, hold on, you already messing up, and I know it. I know it. She didn't give me the whole law. She only gave me subsection 3 and subsection 4 of that law. And again, what I like to do is bring that law back up and put it side to side to Gail Ryder's email. Can just for this. It's 255. Spousal privilege. Y'all, people should do their homework, man. And this is why I'm not R. Kelly. You can't charge me. You can't charge me. I'm not guilty of none of this. You faked the indictment. You forged it. Paige Clarkson got a lot of cleaning up to do. When somebody take a look at my information, when some legislator, especially the governor, I don't understand why she ain't even involved, because I even got Susan Tripp to expose Governor Kate Brown. And Kate Brown, I know for a fact, don't know nothing about me, don't know nothing about my case. So what Gail Ryder did, she went to subsection 3 of this section, and what she did was highlighted it, and then she dragged it into an email, right? But you see where it says subsection 4, and then right here it's the same subsection 4. There is no privilege under this section. There is no privilege under this section. All criminal action in which one spouse is charged with bigamy. Now, me and my wife, I don't have no bigamy charges. I didn't have no. So basically, Douglas Hanson couldn't have used anything like that nature. So but what we will do is keep reading. Bigamy, or with the offense of attempt offense against the person or property or other spouse committed in the course of committing or attempting to commit an offense against the other spouse. Now, what Douglas Hanson claimed is that I've promoted my wife. I've promoted her prostitution. So it doesn't consist of bigamy charges. And what Gail Ryder is saying is under subsection 3 of their own law, of their own Oregon Revised Statute Codes. Subsection 3, in any criminal proceedings, neither spouse during the marriage shall be examined adversity against the other as to any other matter occurring during the marriage unless the spouse is called as a witness. And this is why I say Douglas Hanson used the office for personal gain because he was manipulating the law. He basically took my wife from being labeled victim and made her into a witness. And this is why he say you're partially a victim, you're partially a witness, you're partially this, you're partially that. And trust me, it's not in my words, it's in Douglas Hanson's own words, where he just basically shooting himself in the foot. He tells my wife all this crap, posing. First of all, you tampering with a witness. If the defendant plan on calling a witness to the stand, you can't subpoena that witness and pump fear on that witness and make her feel that she's a victim in order to help your side. And that's what you did. Gail Ryder should have said something about that situation too. Basically, on the fact that Douglas Hanson subpoenaed my witness to court. She was gonna come to court, and you would have had your chance to cross-examine her when she had taken a stand for my defense. Instead, you wanted her on your side first, so you subpoena her using the Gresham police station, and that is a big no-no. That's crossing jurisdiction, and once the feds find out what you did, Douglas Hanson, all y'all attorneys is gonna be in trouble. If I was Martin Habekost and David B. Kuhns, and they know Matthew Johnson still exists, I would be, man, I would really be going to somebody telling somebody something, because when they all get busted, they all going down. Especially the fact that they know Douglas Hanson is just this dangerous. He shouldn't even be working for any kind of attorney's office. His ass should be under investigation, and he should be put on administrative leave indefinitely. Indefinitely. He played around. He crossed state lines. He did a lot of stuff what would cause a certain individual to think suicidal or to become what they call a nuisance to society. He did everything in his power to try to make me bend. Now, I'm gonna look for this video. Where is it? Because Douglas Hanson claims that she's a partial victim. She did. Then he lies about me being having my rights read to me. It's just a lot of stuff that this it's just a lot of stuff this man did.
What it seems like. How am I a victim? You charged me. You charged me. I was first I was a victim to my own case, and what now I'm a. What it seems like.
See how Douglas Hanson is claiming that she's a victim. So when you break down the law, if she's a victim, then she don't have the right to claim spousal privilege because you saying she's a victim. But you made her back into a witness. And that's what's important here, that he can bend the rules. He can, because it says it under subsection 3, and under subsection 3 of my emails from Attorney Gail Ryder, it says in any criminal proceeding, neither the spouse during the marriage, right? But what's important is this fine wording. Unless the spouse is called as a witness, consent to testify. So she has to be called as a witness and not a victim. She cannot be called as a victim to testify under a spousal privilege. So, what I will say is that Gail Ryder said to me in email, right? And this is what I'm saying about Sean Callery and the rest of those DAs out there that was being lied to by Douglas Hanson is the fact that this privilege apply, and we could. I'm reading right here under Gail Ryder's email for those who's wondering. This privilege applies, and we could likely keep Jessica from testifying because under the facts of your case, it is unlikely that a judge will consider her the victim. However, the second consideration is rather we truly want to keep Jessica from testifying. Yes, especially if this is the only thing that the DA got. This is the only person that the DA got. I don't want her getting on the stand. I don't want her doing none of that. If that's my right and if that's my privilege to keep my wife from going through such a scrutiny of this, then don't have it. It says it under there. Our state legislators wrote this. Our county commissioners approved this. And what Douglas Hanson did was turn it and twist it into his own. Listen.
How am I a victim? You charged me. You charged me. I was a victim to my own case, and what now I'm a hostile witness because you feel like I'm not gonna go and testify. What am I to testify? Because obviously you don't want to hear the truth. You still want to argue with me, believe that this man promoted me when I'm sitting here telling you something different. This is why I have a problem with the system. You guys want to claim I'm a victim, but if I'm a victim, for one, a victim doesn't get charged with prostitution when you feel that this man is the one that promoted me. I know I've been through a case 8 years ago when I was 16 years old, a vulnerable victim, and they actually had a lot more proof and evidence than what you guys have. The case is all over the internet, all over the place. I have friends calling me about this. Why is he going to jail? Oh, because the district attorney believes that he promoted me. What? Why? Were you charged? Yes, I was charged with prostitution. Oh, well, if you're a victim, why are you charged as a prostitute? I don't know. It seems the district attorney seems to me thinks that I'm a victim when I'm not, and you just keep saying I'm the one promoting myself. So how am I a victim to a man that didn't do anything?
Right.
Okay, well, we differ on whether your husband did things or not to promote. So I have to look at the other evidence that I have. I'm hearing what you're saying.
No, you're not.
I have to take into account the fact that you have a bias because it's your husband.
So why
it's
would
not
you
that.
subpoena her to court?
That's the problem.
Why would
you
he
think because it's my husband and then I'm just gonna help him? That's not the case. Because if that was the situation, what did you think? For one, his public defenders and y'all should have all investigated me a long time ago if I was a supposed victim. I'm not underneath the ACP. I'm not being protected of any of that. I know, like I said, I was a victim for a very long time. I'm not a victim anymore.
So, you hear Douglas Hanson stumbling over her, over my wife. This is my wife we talking about. This is why I'm going deep with the truth of Paige Clarkson and how the public defenders are in fact being paid off by attorneys out of the Marion County DA's office. This is not a lie. This is truth. In order to get the truth, you have to put the facts out there. And Douglas Hanson had David Kuhns on the case. He had Martin Habekost. He had Gail Ryder. All those people were pulled from the Marion County Associations of Defenders due to a conflict of interest on the public defender's office of Marion County, right? This these attorneys also know that dealing with the Fifth Amendment to the United States Constitution, right? That no person should be subjected for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limbo. And this is what they have been doing to me to cover Douglas Hanson. Now, Douglas Hanson is running out of power, man. His judge Tripp retired on him. Gail Ryder retired on him. I'm surprised Brian Kuhn haven't told on him. I'm surprised Martin Habekost haven't told on him. These people know that Douglas Hanson is not legit.
Not the fact that he's not a.
Hold on.
Honestly, I mean,
you got to understand why it's called coercion. Why is it called coercion? How did Matthew be forced to take a plea offer? Why did they tell him that he can appeal when they knowing that if he stipulate, he gives up all those rights? Why have they admitted coercive behavior? Why is they giving judges that's retired? Why is they allowing the director of Oregon Lottery to be a judge on the back end? There's a lot of questions that we have to ask these attorneys. These attorneys don't stand a chance. I was a client and I was mistreated. My character was depumated. You talk about writing Paige Clarkson a letter and demanding a public apology. Martin Habekost, David Kuhns. What about a public apology for what you guys did to me? How you orchestrated and helped defame me. One thing that I will say in good hopes is that Paige Clarkson do give her due diligence. What she should be questioning is how do Matthew Johnson know so much? And why hasn't nobody given this man a chance? Are we going to let Matthew go all the way to the White House with this story without doing nothing, without taking some type of acknowledgement, some type of, yeah, they have to do something. Because when I think back on me fighting my case and what they have done to me and how they mentally and medically profiled me. For God's sakes, David Kuhn thought that I was losing my mind. I remember I told David Kuhn about a situation, and I want to get off of Douglas Hanson real fast, and I want to get on David Kuhn because I told David Kuhn about a situation dealing with Douglas Hanson illegally putting paperwork on me and using my name for. And David Kuhn said, "Matthew, you losing your mind. You're going crazy. He didn't do that. That's not you. That's not your profile picture. Da 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 da." I was in a lot of emails with you, David Kuhn. And you know what Douglas Hanson tried to do with those emails? He tried to destroy them. He tried to destroy all the emails between me and David Kuhns. Right? And I'm a bring up what I'm talking about here pretty soon. Let's looking this up. Where's that picture at? Okay. Did David Kuhn, you have to remember me talking to you about this picture. While I'm talking about that picture right there, I'm gonna go look because they then took my name, they took my face and put it on those charges that you see right there. David Kuhn knowingly knew about it and he did nothing to try to help me. He said I was lying. I wrote him an email and I was like, why what is going on here, Kuhn? I went to the Gresham police and talked to the Gresham police about David Kuhn's behavior and how he was trying to force me to take the deal when he knew I had evidence. He knew I had evidence. He didn't want to look at the evidence, pretty much. He basically said Matthew is a joke. He don't know what he's talking about. He done lost his mind. You know, I got a tremendous amount of evidence on these attorneys. So, when you look right here, let's go over this situation right here first. First of all, my name is Matthew Mayfield Johnson Jr. In this paperwork, they say my name is Matthew Emmanuel Elton Lee Chris Johnson Jr. This is just a glitch in the system to hide me from the people that's looking for me if I was in jail. Like I said, proof I asked David B. Kuhns about this information on me. He played me like I was the sick one. He played me like I was sick on because I was onto their games. He knew that these charges promoting prostitution, compelling, there was never, the DA never felt that, right? Proof that the DA never felt that is in our videos. Let let let's go here. Let's look at these charges though. I gotta bring this over here real quick. I gotta bring this over here. Would it be? Would it be? Yeah. I'm a cold one. I think I could find it in Gale Writers folder. If I'm on live on Facebook exposing the DAs and the attorneys, it's going down, daughter. But I could talk to you because I'm exposing them. They talking about they was good attorneys. Please, they wasn't. Huh? I'm looking for this video as I play this chic video about this fool knowing about these fake ass charges on me. Look. Hold on, Dad. This is drill. All right, call me back. See, I can answer the phone, but what I'm gonna do is get to the Sheik's video. Is that the? I named it the Sheik's video. and I can't find it nowhere. But we got to, because I made every effort to prove David Kuhns wrong. When I tell you, I did prove him wrong. I proved him wrong on so many levels. On so many levels. Let me try one place I know for sure. See, I don't know where I put that video. I gotta find it. Hold on, give me a minute, y'all bear with me. David Kuhns, you remember David Kuhns? You, I don't know if you watch emails or not or Facebook, but you could go look at this information on YouTube too, cause I'm streaming it on YouTube, and I could stream this and talk about this for days. But what I'm looking for is that video. I'm looking for that video, man. We gonna find it. Don't worry. When you got a whole bunch of information. Another thing I want to teach y'all about is how to use signatures, how to uplift signatures and use them. Let's go here. One thing I do know is these people got it. These people might got it and they might not. Yeah. Okay. So we found this video. So what I'm gonna do is go over the charges again. Now we already know that they hid me from the public, right? But they used my identification. They used all of that, right? My height, male, 5'7", 150. That's my whole ID information. But what we concerned with is these charges right here. Right here. We concerned with the charges: promoting prostitution, compelling prostitution, unlawful possession of oxycodone, unlawful delivery. Now, this is the thing that I will say is I'm gonna break these charges down. And Kuhn was my public defender. He know better. He know that those charges was not listed on the indictment, nor was they listed in the information of record. He knowing that, and we gonna go over that while I'm exposing Kuhn. This is this is why I believe again that Paige Clarkson has been telling the truth solely about the efforts, right? Because it's either she's telling the truth or David Kuhn and Martin Habekost and the rest of those public defenders just did not like me. They just was absolutely racist. And I don't believe that. I believe that bribery was going on. I believe that coercion behind the scenes was taking place, especially when the judge is a powerful judge that got pulled at the Oregon State Bar because she sits in the civil rights corner part of section of the Oregon State Bar, and she actually had pulled with the directors. I think the director Sylvia Stern should go ahead and retire right along with Susan Tripp, because once the FBI find out what they have done, it is gonna be a wrap. It's gonna be a wrap. And I people say they can harm me and hurt me all the time. And this is why I put so much information, because I don't have any enemies. Nobody wants to just hurt me if it ain't them. You know what I mean? So again, let's play this Sheik's video. So their story was that I was found hiding in the closet, but on top of that, I promoted from the closet and I sold drugs from the closet. Period. Point blank. That's their story. We running with it. They said I was on some R. Kelly shit. I was found hiding in closet. So we gonna keep running with what Douglas Hanson's officers told him. though they know in fact, they did not find me hiding in the closet, because hadn't Officer Roger Smith found me hiding in the closet, there ain't no doubt in my mind he would have blew my head off. He would have shot and killed me. It would have been all over the news, right? But they never found me hiding in the closet. So, um, if you look at Roger Smith's background, Officer Roger Smith's background, and if you don't know who Officer Roger Smith is, let's give you a picture of Roger Smith. Officer Roger Smith is the undercover officer that was playing John in my case, right? This this guy is uh, Officer Roger Smith. We're gonna get Kuhns out the way real quick. Officer Roger Smith said that he is charging me with promoting prostitution, compelling prostitution, unlawful possession of oxycodone, unlawful delivery of oxycodone. And when he came into my wife's motel room, he got evidence of all this occurring. Right now, we gonna go over this, and this is why I stand firm with Paige Clarkson. Again, I was against Paige Clarkson. I was like, she with them, she sides with them. But when I read this letter about these attorneys asking Paige Clarkson for a public apology, no, Paige Clarkson, you do not need to give David uh Kuhn's public apology, or Martin Habekost. What they need to do is tell the truth about you telling the truth. You are absolutely standing up to these men that know that Douglas Hanson was fully corrupted DA, and that they had taken briberies from him. Period, point blank. Tell the truth to shame the devil. Period, like my wife would say. So Officer Roger Smith gives me these charges, right? So what we have to do is go into this, not the evidence, even though I want to look at that evidence, because I want to bring up another sheet. This is a this is a sheet that was taking place that I was telling Kuhn about. I know what they were doing to me, type sheet, right? This and Kuhn was like, "Oh, that's not you." Let's move him out the way real quick. Kuhn was like, "Oh, that's not you." Da da da. You know. So he waited until they charged me, right? If you look on OregonArrest.org, right? And what I was telling Kuhn is that is me. The same information. They put my picture on there. They they took my Marion County picture and put it on there after they charged me. But where they made the error at, and just like I was telling Kuhn, where they made the error at is that they didn't fix the name. You see that? They didn't fix the name. You see a record removal, and at first it didn't have my picture up there. Well, they took my picture. This is what's called defamation of character. This is what's called slander. Because you waited till you illegally prosecuted me. And at the time, David Kuhn was my attorney. See, at the time, I'm emailing David Kuhn. I'm emailing this man right here, David Brian Kuhn. I'm emailing him, and I'm explaining to him that why is that why they got these illegal charges on me, right? And what I meant by illegal charges on me is the fact that it said unlawful possession and compelling, when on the information sheet that none of that was there. None of that. No, the DA never filed under information on these type of charges. They waited to charge me illegally, and then they put my picture, my Marion County mugshot on there, but they never changed my name back. You see that it says Matthew Emmanuel Elton Lee Chris Johnson Jr. This is the same information. Oops. This is the same information that I was telling to Kuhn in emails way beforehand. Way beforehand. And what we're looking at is the fact that Roger Smith charged me with promoting prostitution, compelling unlawful possession, unlawful delivery. Now, everybody know that when you're innocent, you're going to do whatever it takes to prove your innocence. You're going to do it. So what I had to do is call and pretend to be my father and roll with the lies that Douglas Hanson and them had been telling in order to get the truth. So here, listen.
Hi, my name is Matthew Singer, and I was calling to try to get some information on my son's case.
Okay. What's the name?
His name is Matthew Mayfield Johnson, Jr.
You said Matthew was the first name?
Yes, I have a case number if you like, ma'am.
I can only use a SID number. Case number is not going to help me.
A SID number? I can use a SID number. I have all the information you need.
Okay, go ahead with that.
1405 1429.
Okay, that number is not coming up. Are you
What?
calling to the state of Oregon?
Yes, I'm calling to the state of Oregon to try to figure out my son's criminal background and his charges, because he's been going really crazy and he's been trying to kill himself several times, and I'm wondering what's going on and what's causing him to do this. And he's been telling me that he's been faces some illegal charges down there in Marion County.
Mm-hmm. And what did you say his middle name was?
His middle name is Mayfield, is same as mine, ma'am.
Okay, and is he in custody with us?
No.
What's his date of birth?
11/6/1984.
Okay. Well, he's not in custody at the jail. What information are you needing?
I'm trying to figure out what's his charges. He showed me a piece of paper which was a fake indictment, is what he's been telling me, because he was forced out on bail for doing 22 days and he didn't see the bail on the indictment.
Okay.
I'm just gassing him.
I'm not showing that he's been here since June of 2014.
Watch
In our
how
jail.
she break down these charges
June 9th, right?
that these
June
public
9th,
defenders
he was released
only
from us
knew
June
about.
8th of 2014.
Which was a force out agreement.
Correct, yes.
So then he went to fight a criminal case, and what my son has been telling me is that he's been fighting a criminal case on some charges he were forced out of your custody on.
Okay. Well, the charges that he was here on was unlawful delivery of oxycodone, promoting prostitution, unlawful possession of oxycodone, and compelling prostitution.
That's a lie.
And he hasn't been back since then, so I can transfer you to the court and see if he's gone to court, but he has not been in custody on any new charges or on those charges since that time.
When and can you tell me exactly when he was booked?
Mm-hmm. He came in on May 16th, and it looks like, let me see here. Looks like the first two charges, there was no contest, and they weren't going to proceed with charging him on those. And the other two, I haven't had any findings on those, so I don't, they no filed on them
I was free and clear of every one of those charges, but yet somehow they took me and charged me behind the scenes using the public defenders. And again, that's why I say that Paige Clarkson did her public a good service, even if she did say that. There's proof. I don't see why no investigator won't come my way, pick up a couple of these files that I got to show that this lady is actually legit. She's gonna change the outcome of how Marion County operates. Now, when you got a district attorney, they have the power to pick up charges, pick up charges, file them against you. You hear me pretend, I had to pretend to be my dad to get information about Douglas Hanson.
As this court heard from Dr.
We went through a trial, but they called it pre-trial motion hearings, right? And what I want to do is stay on Officer Roger Smith and his crime against me. It just don't add up because evidence, his evidence is insufficient to the charges. There's no way. And we're gonna break down the dope case. I think that's on page 2. See, when you looking at information, you got to be willing to just put it on there for what it's worth, right? Got to be putting it on there for what it's worth. And what we want to look at is the prescription pills that was found, which is under the evidence 13E1, right? This is from the Salem Police Property, page 2 of 2, right? And what I've done is put in all the other missing information since they want to try to investigate, right? They're not properly investigating, and this is where my public defenders should have been listening to me, because now each one of them is in trouble. Each one of them that was on my case that tried to convince me to take the deal, just take the deal and do what Douglas Hanson say. Each one of them I will see in federal court, because I have the right to call what's called the victim impact statement letter. And I can't wait to put the victim impact statement letter on each and every one of the public defenders. Only public defender that I will say that took me serious at that specific time was public defender Jessica Kemphy. She knew something was wrong, so she decided to raise the conflict of interest to get me help from what was called MCAT at the time. I don't know what they call it now, right? The Marion County Associations. I don't know, because Douglas Hanson's been doing a lot of work behind the scenes. But let's look at 13E1 under the Salem Police Report. And now, if I was a DA and I was looking at the evidence for what if worse, and y'all said Matthew Johnson was found hiding in the closet, and then on top of that, on the paperwork itself, the prescription pill bottle for oxycodone anamorphine full of pills found by Dee Dee, Benjamin, and then they scratched that out. You see that? So you mean to tell me 3 of y'all officers found bottle, one pill bottle in Jessica's purse? Why would you see, as a person that's thinking psychologically, right? And a person that's trying to corrupt paperwork, they get caught up. They knew that Dee Dee was gonna come to court and say, I didn't find the pills. Bitterman would have said the same thing. I didn't find the pills. So Roger Smith scratched out both Dee Dee name and Bitterman name because he couldn't trust them two cops to do dirty work. These two cops wasn't willing to do the dirty work for Smith. So Smith said to himself that he found them in Jessica's purse. Not only did Smith say that, he testified to that in his pretrial motion hearings. Right? I'm so cold with this. They should have just listened to me. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, but didn't. So I got this thing color coordinated right here, and the blue one, the gray ones is actually Roger Smith, and for some reason, let's see where we will start with Roger Smith.
Under penalty of perjury, do you swear or affirm the information you're about to give in this court and cause shall be the truth?
I do, Your Honor.
Have a seat.
Thank you.
Once you're seated, state your entire name, spelling your entire name out for the record.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Detective Rogers Smith. My first name is Rogers. Last name is Smith.
Counsel. Thank you, Your Honor.
Now this is where I'm concerned with. She said under penalty of perjury, state your full entire name. So when I think about Roger Smith situation, right? His name is Roger Gerald Smith. How would I know that, right? I'll come back to the Salem Police Department and then I'll go to Roger Smith affidavits. Roger Smith affidavits is somewhere in here. I can prove so much on these dudes. What I want to do. I could click on any one of these incident reports, and what we're looking for is his actual entire name. I show you the breakdown of how they lying under oath, how they committing perjury, all that. You gonna see. I was looking at it the whole time and I was passing it. So it's under Roger Joe Smith affidavit. So what we'll do is just click on. Let's see, is it on the first page? Okay. We'll give you the first page of Roger Gerald Smith. Sorry for me switching out the pages and stuff like that, but that's what you got to do. So on the video, and I gotta go back.
Under penalty.
I'm gonna have to fix that situation later. But right now, I must see my.
Under penalty of perjury, do you swear or affirm the information you're about to give in this court and cause shall be the truth?
I do, Your Honor.
Have a seat.
Thank you.
Once you're seated, state your entire name,
State your
spelling your entire name.
Spell
out
your
for the
entire
record.
name. Don't stutter either.
My name is Detective Rogers Smith.
Oh,
My
he's
first name is
stuttering.
Rogers. Last name is Smith.
Counsel. Thank you, Your Honor.
See, right off the bat, he lying because the judge told him to state his entire name. He stumbled. He was scared. What are you scared of, Roger Smith? What are you really scared of? Maybe it's the penalty of perjury that you committed under the law. You willing to go and lie for a cheating DA and a cheating public defender and Gail Ryder and Martin Habekost and David Kuhns, all of them. They all cheated me. All of y'all cheated me, and y'all all gotta account for it because under Roger Smith on affidavit, it says, I, Roger Gerald Smith of the Salem Police Department, being darnly swore on under oath, do hereby depose and say, I am a police officer and a member of the Salem Police Department and authorized to make application for search warrant. When I looked this up, I knew that Douglas Hanson schooled Roger Smith on what to say. Roger Smith not only know that this is illegal what he doing. There's no judge in their right mind will give you search warrants twice in a row for the same thing. If you didn't find nothing the first time, that's your fault. Why do you need another search warrant to go through the items again? And this is why I said, Douglas Hanson, what are you going to do when the FBI come for you? Man, I am so smart. I should give myself a round of applause because I am breaking their backs and they got me under digital stakeout where nobody can see it. You know, I'm not doing nothing wrong. I'm fighting. This is what fighting for real justice is about, right? So let's get rid of that and get back to him. Roger Smith, we proved already that he's one that's willing to lie under oath, right? He already said that he found the pills in Jessica's purse, not me. They say I'm found hiding in the closet, Paige Clarkson. This is such a dumb story. They say I'm found hiding in the closet, but they charge me with the pills that they found in my wife's purse. Right? Let's get to some more of their evidence over here. Let's get to the first page of their evidence. USB drive found in Jessica's purse. Paperwork from the front hotel in Jessica's name. 2 black laptops. $90. This is what they actually took from me. This is exactly what they took from me. $90 US currency found in Matthew's wallet by Smith. And then $1,200 US currency found in Matthew's shorts by Smith. I need that money back, man. Hey, look, I'm broke, man. Y'all need to go ahead and give me my silver money back before I sick Merkel back on y'all. But y'all made me so mad at Merkel that me and his relationship no longer exists. And another thing that I wanted to talk about when we talk about those crimes is Douglas Hanson's criminal incident report and a crime incident report. I want to bring this up because I'm no fan to keeping nothing in the closet on why these charges don't even make sense. They was fraudulent charges from the beginning because I know in like being in courts previously for 2 other convictions that what they were doing was wrong right here. Salem Police Department, right? Again, we dealing with just Roger Smith. See, and Paige Clarkson, she knows something is wrong with her DA's office. She know it. And what I'm saying is she's willing to fix it. Hey, kudos to you. Round of applause for standing up, being a strong woman and saying, no, we got to fix the corruption that's going on here. And it starts with our office. Because if our office pick up charges and illegally foul them and get ourselves in these type of situations that we can't get out of, then we got to be held accountable for our unethical misconduct. And just like I asked Ms Clarkson in an email, is will you be willing to arrest Douglas Hanson for his misconduct? He's no longer a DA at your office. He's committed crimes to me. He's broke federal law, state law. He cheated. He stole signatures. He used officers to for his wicked master plan. And it's just sad that the whole Marion County DA's office got to go through this. It's just sad. It is sad. So again, right here, 1405. This citation number. This is a citation number 14018889. Right. If you a public defender and you get this type of information as discovery, the first thing I'm looking for is where did the transaction happen? Where did the discovery start? How was the discovery created? What parties were involved with the discovery? If my client had no ties to any of the information given to the discovery, then that's grounds to dismiss with prejudice if I was an attorney. But I was not an attorney in this case. They said that I was incompetent and I couldn't aid and assist with my charges. So right here, SMP. When I was in pretrial motion hearings, I swear Susan Tripp said, "Who's SMP?" They said Salem Police Department, but really it was Salem, Marion, and Polk County officers at the crime scene. And that's why when you look up some of the officers, some of those named officers in a police report was not from Salem Police Department. Some of them was from Marion, Salem, Marion, and Polk County is what the SMP is. So then look, these officer didn't even fill out his paperwork in full entirety and he had everything. He had all the information. He filed charges on me that wasn't even no evidence to. There was no evidence of this. I for sure know that I wasn't within 1,000 feet of a school if your claim is that you found me hiding in a closet. Name one closet. Show me what closet I was in, and then we gonna go from that closet and we gonna count the feet. And I guaranteed you there was no way that I was within 1,000 feet of a school if the claims that these officers and DAs is making is that I was found hiding in a closet. I mean, who are these people? These people is not legit. They not legit. Unlawful delivery of an oxycodone. And let's talk about the compelling. You see how they put prostitution in there in all the offenses that occurred. This is saying to the public that they also are including charging Matthew with prostitution. But what they did down here is split up the charges, right? They charged my wife, Jessica Johnson. They did such a bad job on a police report that they didn't even black out her age. She's 26 years old, female, Asian. They rushed their paperwork. They rushed everything. They just did and she wasn't arrested. She was detained. Detained and being arrested is two different things, and that's another thing that get people caught up in this system is that they don't understand that when they detain, they have a right to just let the police do their investigation. If the police arrest them, they must read them Miranda warning. You don't gotta read Miranda to a person that you detaining for investigation, and that's exactly what they did to Jessica. Is that they detained her and they released her with a criminal prostitution citation. And we'll get into that since we breaking down these charges because this is now I'm having fun with it. So what they did to me, Matthew Johnson, I was 29 at the time of my arrest, which is accurate with me being 3 years older than my wife, right? They gave me unlawful delivery within 1,000 feet of a school, promoting and compelling. And then they turned around and arrested me and my wife, according to this police report. But then they made my wife the victim. Why would they do that under compelling if Jessica is nowhere near under the age of 18 or 16 or 17? She's nowhere near there. So it's inaccurate for them to do that. But somehow Douglas Hanson got away with it. More importantly, what we have to look at is not let's just look at the indictment. Let's just look at the indictment. But I like to look at the information sheet too because it's very important because the information sheet accounts for the indictment. The information sheet comes before the indictment. And this is what I tell people all the time is to look at your paperwork. Make sure you look at it thoroughly because these officers and DAs, they know how to manipulate paperwork. They know how to control it. They know how to use the office for personal gain. They know how to hide stuff out. They know how to put stuff in files and be like, oh, that Matthew Johnson case. Oh, I got that case. And you don't have to worry about it. Don't look into it. I go to court. And then they get in there with their favorite judges and their favorite police officers. So from this information, this is now going from Officer Roger Smith to Douglas Hanson's hands, right? This got it's going to Douglas Hanson. The information is going over here to Douglas Hanson now, right? So we're going to cover him up and put the information because now that Officer Roger Smith made the accusations up, Douglas Hanson gets to file by information on the charges. He gets to look at the offenses made, and then he takes what's called the information. The DA, Douglas Hanson. The DA right here, Douglas Hanson. He then takes this information and he picks up what charges he feel he got enough evidence to get a charge on, right? Douglas Hanson knew for a fact that since they didn't black out Jessica's age of being 26, he couldn't get compelling. He couldn't get the compelling. So he took that off and gave me promoting, right? This is by his own information. And he knew that by the evidence that he got, since they claimed that the oxycodone was found in Jessica's purse, he couldn't get me unlawful delivery of oxycodone. He couldn't give me those because the possession is 9/10 of the law. Everybody know that. So what Douglas Hanson did right here, and we got to look. State versus Oregon plaintiff versus Matthew Mayfield Johnson Jr. My date of birth. The above named defendant is accused by Walter Biglow. Walter Biglow, Gail Ryder told me that Walter Biglow had no idea what Douglas Hanson was doing. So many people told on him that it's just beyond me. But anyways, back to this. So Douglas Hanson get the information. He say, I'm accused by Walter Biglow, district attorney for the county of Marion, by this information. of the crime of one count of delivery of oxycodone within 1,000 feet promoting prostitution, right? The defendant on or about May 16, 2014 in Marion County, Oregon did unlawfully and knowingly deliver oxycodone. How? When I was found hiding in the closet. Who did I sell these oxycodones to? Did that person come to the closet? See, it does not make sense, right? It does not make sense. Knowingly deliver oxycodone, a controlled substance, within 1,000 feet of the real property, conspiring a public or private elementary, vocational, or secondary school attended primarily by minors. Count 2, the defendant on or about May 16, 2014 in Marion County did unlawfully and knowingly with intent to promote prostitution receive money other than as a prostitute being compensated for personal revenue prostitution services pursuant to an agreement that the money was divided from prostitution activity. This is Douglas Hanson's information. What I'm saying, in order for a defendant to take a plea deal, you got to drop a charge. You can't stick both charges on them. I never seen that in my life. Right? So, again, we move past that. That's not important. What's important, which I challenge, and I challenge to this day, is this man's late indictment. This man got the latest indictment in America. He got the latest indictment in America. I am not lying to you. For one, again, the charges is delivery within 1,000 feet and promoting. There's no compelling and there's no other charge that they was talking about. They never ever charged me with none of that. They no fouled and no complaining on all of this crap. But somehow Douglas Hanson cheated. Now, I want to break down this indictment. On a Class A felony, it takes 72 hours to bring an indictment. On a Class A felony. Class C felony included. Douglas Hanson has 72 hours to bring this indictment. This man brung this indictment months later. He brung it all the way in October. But what I'm concerned with is that on this indictment, there's no judge signature. There's no date. There's not the $50,000 bail amount. And what we do to break Douglas Hanson back. And all these, the reason why I'm doing this video is to prove Paige Clarkson has been telling the truth about the public defenders. At least I can count for several of them doing this crap, right? So, what is it?
Yeah. We acknowledge receipt of the information in 14C46286. Mr. Johnson indicates that he is correctly named. His date of birth is also correct. We'll waive any further reading or other advice of rights and seek Mr. Johnson's release.
Yeah. They couldn't advise me of anything else. They had to get me out of there because what Douglas Hanson was claiming was illegal on me. They didn't even have no evidence on me at the time in order, because I would have passed through the 72 hours without getting an indictment, and Douglas Hanson knew that. So let's listen to my May 19th court date where I'm actually challenging some of this.
Here we're asking the court to set $50,000 bail. Defendant, according to the reports, is a pimp for his wife. When caught in a hotel room, because his wife is getting hooked. Defendant is there with $1,200 on him and oxycodone, 50 plus pills. He has texts that discuss selling drugs. He is a B on the grid with a prior robbery 2 where he went to prison for 70 months and a 2010 unlawful use of a weapon where he went to prison for 20. He was sentenced to 25 months. I'm wondering if he also has a parole hold.
I'm trying to check. I don't show a parole hold. And did you show those charges when you looked them up?
I don't know.
Can you give us the case number from the...
And it could be that his parole is done, but I don't think so. That's 09...
Lying. Held me in jail for that. They held me in confinement for that.
It's a Multnomah County case.
03069. All right.
Mr. Johnson indicates that he has completed his parole, his post-prison supervision.
Okay. Well, standard bail is $50,000. I'll set $50,000.
And the reason why I played that video, because if you take a look at the indictment that Douglas Hanson claimed that he and the judge, he went to a judge and got, right? That's a lie, because the judge put a $50,000 bail on me. And it was on May 19th, right? Douglas Hanson didn't know the dates. And he most definitely didn't know the judge, right? So this indictment was forged by the Marion County DA, Douglas Hanson. You can never, ever in your life find this four-person. Douglas Hanson signed it himself and forged it. It's the same handwriting. Look at it. It's the same. And then he forced E-Court to accept it. That's why it says processed. The E-Court never accepted it. It would have said verify correct original copy. But none of that is going on, right? But what I'm concerned with is all witnesses appeared in person unless otherwise noted. Roger Smith and Erica Hernandez. Jessica Johnson never went to no grand jury in order to get any kind of charges filed on me. Any kind of them. But yet they charged me and took me through years and years of pain and suffering and money loss and all that. They did this to me. I challenge this indictment forever. This is not a real indictment. This is frivolous. I asked for a preliminary hearing. You know what they did? Waived it for me.
Your Honor, we asked for a preliminary hearing on May 27th with a return to court for arraignment and an indictment issue on May 29th.
Right. Preliminary hearing May 27th. May 29th, amendment on indictment of plaintiff issue.
Did you not hear what that judge said? The indictment was supposed to be placed upon me on May 29th after giving me what was called a preliminary hearing, which is pretty much an evidentiary hearing where we put on evidence and we challenged the charges. The DA knew that I was smart. Douglas Hanson knew I was smart. He knew that. And he had a lot of help. In order for him to succeed with his master plan, the public defenders had to be willing to help him. Why was they so willing to help? Why was the public defenders so willing to help Douglas Hanson? Right? Because now what I'm concerned with is you hear this judge break down me not getting my preliminary hearing. No indictment was filed. Where did this indictment come from? And why no clerk of the circuit court signed it? Why wasn't it stamped by a deputy? There's a lot wrong with this indictment. And I can guarantee you Douglas Hanson knows that I'm on to him. if it took 2 cops, let's just say that these wasn't the charges. Let's just say this was reading murder in the first degree with a firearm and then compelling and promoting and all the other charges. But murder was involved in it, right? If it took only 2 cops to get an indictment on a person without the grand jury hearing from any victim or witness, right, then a whole lot of people will be in jail. A whole lot of people. Yeah, I'm making sense. I'm making real sense here to a point where somebody need to look at this. Why is it fair? How is it fair that this man get to do this and then put Paige Clarkson in a situation where she can't do nothing because he get prosecutorial immunity? Because I don't think he should get prosecutorial immunity. Douglas Hanson, listen up, man. I know a lot about you, man. I know a lot about how you bribe, how you cheat, how you steal, how you use people, how you steal money from your own nonprofit. Hands are not for hurting. I bet you there's some complaints from that nonprofit organization on you that you covering up for your illegal touching. I got a cold private investigator, and you still can't figure it out how I'm getting all this information. But one thing you do know is I'm telling the truth. No way could this have happened.
I have notes for Miss. This is a case that Miss Weiland has been appointed to. She would like to come back on this matter on the 4th day of June at 8:30 a.m. for a Rule 7. She will. Mr. Johnson will continue to waive preliminary hearing until that time. And I would like to note that we've received an offer, a plea offer from the district attorney's office, and we received some discovery, including a probable cause statement, but we haven't yet received police reports in this matter, so she'll need to review.
Well, and the reason you haven't is because she didn't waive prelim last time. She set it for preliminary hearing, which was supposed to have occurred on the 27th, and we're supposed to be here today on arraignment. So what's the status of that?
Nothing. They known for cheating. Douglas Hanson is a thief in a courtroom. Listen to this. And this is Susan Tripp, the judge that Douglas Hanson claimed he had in his back pocket, began to realize that she was suffering from some type of pre-existing condition that she stated, which she's trying to hide behind retiring for. But the mere fact is this: she allowed Douglas Hanson to run her courtroom, and she needs to be held accountable for that. Because if a judge knowingly say this on court record,
so at least there was evidence.
It was evidence
that she was insane.
Yeah, that's it. That she was.
Yes, the 15th.
Yes,
and she indicated as such in that ad that she had placed.
They knew that my wife placed the ads. They knew that my wife was the only one in Salem. These judges knew. The judge knew it. And Douglas Hanson, you hear him agreeing with Susan Tripp on, yes, it was her. But somehow y'all charged me with promoting the activity of not only knowing that it was solely her, and the evidence pointed to her, not him. I'm just at all with why Martin Charles Habekost. I haven't even got on him. Let's dive in on Martin Charles Habekost real quick, because Martin Charles Habekost was a very quiet person. Let's clear this out. Let's clear all this out. We don't need none of this no more. We don't need you. We clearing this out. We clearing this out. We clearing this out. We're going to get back to Martin Charles Habekost, because I think it's very important to talk a little bit about him and why my situation with him was funny. First thing I do is show you proof that he actually was my attorney. He asked for a discovery. I'm gonna have to switch the pictures. Sorry. Old school way. Because what I want to do is show you that I actually had, it was June 5th, 2016, according to this paperwork. Marion County District Attorney's Office. Attention. They needed discovery, and what's so funny about the discovery that they was basically trying to retrial me and charge me and still send me to prison under the same charges that they could not charge me with originally. So what they do, put me in double jeopardy, and they hired Martin Habekost to get the job done, to make sure that I take Douglas Hanson's second deal. Which I never moved to try to appeal this because it was already taking effect on me, right? But if you look at this, it said this is a letterhead from Martin Charles Habekost. He was a private counsel. I remind you on the fact that Jessica Kemphy stated that there was a conflict of interest because I told her I never waived my preliminary hearings, and Kerry Weiland basically screwed me working with Douglas Hanson. Doug, you thought I wasn't going to see the madness that you was creating. You thought I wasn't going to be on it. To whom it may concern, please allow this letter to serve as a formal request for the discovery and above entitled matter pursuant to Oregon Revised Statute through United States Constitution Amendment ... So when I seen this from Martin Habekost, he normally knew that they were already violating my rights, my constitutional amendment rights. He knew that. That's why he stated that the defendant further requests that the state provide the defendant now and in future with any and all information in that is or may be beneficial, right? But none of that took place, right? This is all happening while I'm in jail. And Martin Habekost make a visit to see me in jail, and I tell him I'm not gonna be here long, man. I'm not supposed to be here. What do you know, Martin Habekost? I told you so. We was out of I was out of jail, and I began to write him. I think I met with Martin Habekost. Nope, I never met with him in his office. Yeah, actually I did. Actually, me and my wife did meet with Martin Habekost. And you know what, Martin Habekost? You remember, I showed you pictures. I showed you that I was so organized. I remember it. I remember it like it was yesterday. I went to his office, and you know what I drove down there? I drove the U-Haul truck. And when I tell you I drove a U-Haul truck, I brought Martin Habekost a lot of evidence. I showed him pictures and timelines and everything. And he knew in his mind, in his heart, that this man, Matthew Johnson, had something. And he didn't want to get crossed up into it. But along the way, somehow, he tried to, like, get out of it, but he couldn't. He couldn't. He just couldn't. So he tried to defend me to the best of his ability. So, dear Matthew, this letter confirmed that I have been appointed to represent you in above entitled matter. So it was the State versus Matthew, Marion County Circuit Court 14C42686 case. Now, this is why I'm calling it a double jeopardy, because why is it that that's a new case if I committed new crimes under the probation terms? If it's new crimes under the probation terms since you put me on probation for those crimes, right? And I committed more crimes. I should have gotten a new case number. But what they did was try to retrial me under the original case number. Next appearance, plead hearing Wednesday. They was doing me dirty. A enter of plea hearing has been scheduled for the above date and time at Marion County Court Annex. When my plea bargain said all PVs go back to Susan Tripp. Instead of them uh, sending my PVs to Susan Tripp, she recused herself off my case and sent it back to a court annex. And I got a lot of different judges who was just clueless because they judges that see different cases every day. So they threw me in that pool. So I have requested a copy of discovery regarding your case. Once I have reviewed the discovery, I will return to visit with you. See, he at this time in this letter, Martin Habekost is thinking that I'm being held in confinement at the Marion County Jail. Because Stephanie Allen arrested me and put a hold on me until I seen the judge, right? But for some reason in it all, the Marion County Jail forced me out of their custody again. They kicked me out. There's like, you're not supposed to be here. It's the same charges. What is going on? So I give Marion County Corrections or the Marion County Jail facility, whoever was leading that, I give them their kudos because they kept kicking me out of jail, which was showing the court has denied bail in the above entitled matter. Here, let's look at this right here. If you are released from custody, you must be present on that day and time or a bench warrant will be issued. The court has denied bail in the above title matter. I have requested a copy of discovery regarding your case. Once I review that, I'll be back out there to see you. But here we go. This is a letter from Honorable A.J. Aubrey Boyles. Like I told you, they took me through different judges. What we getting at is what I want you guys to see. It's why this is a second one. If you see amended, that means I went through it twice. But let me see if I'm the original one is on here. I don't think so. So remember when I told you I made an initial visit to see Martin Habekost? I showed Martin Habekost this poster that I had of all the people I thought that had something to do with it back at that time, right? And that's why I said Martin Habekost knowingly knows of Douglas Hanson's evil plot. He even took part in it because he helped secure a victory again for Douglas Hanson when he knowingly know that Judge Daniel Penn was running for a new seat. You feel me? I don't get why they think I'm playing with them. So these was my charges. Let's get into it. I can't even find the original charges, but these is the amended one. And they have marked everything. This was a motion to show cause why probation should not be revoked. This matter comes before and it was Julian Jody Fisher, right? A longtime friend of Douglas Hanson's. But look what they said comes down. The district attorney of Marion County, Oregon, respectfully moved the courts for an order revoking the probation. So they basically told me I had what was called a suspended sentence, and that the prosecutor suspended 5 years over my head. And if they revoke me, then I would get the 5 years, right? This motion is based upon facts and reports dated da da da. But what I'm concerned with, had contact with Jessica and his children and children or minor children in his extended family. They was messing up because under 13, under this 13, if you look at the judgment, it said that I was able to have contact with them. But then they turned around and charged me on probation violation hearings for having contact with my wife and my children and children in my family, when they the ones that made the deal up. All the rest of it felt to be truthful. I've been telling the truth from the jump. And I tell you, I got court transcripts to go with this right here. So I'm not gonna stick too much on that. But I will say, Stephanie Allen, she was trying to get my she was trying to get me to go to prison for 5 years. Now, what another thing that I will talk about is the fact that I know for a fact that Judge Aubrey Boyles didn't sign this. She did not sign this. What happened was a move like this was made at the top of, well, you can't see. Okay. At the top of here, you get pencils and pens and signatures, right? And I did a couple examples, and what I wanted to show you guys is how Douglas Hanson actually manipulated the signatures and all that. That's a whole nother thing that I will talk to you about, right? But we sticking to Martin Habekost information, right? Martin, I actually wrote Martin Habekost, but it wasn't through email. So when the DA started testifying about all my information was sent through emails to these attorneys, that was a lie, because I also was faxing over information. That's why you see attention Martin Charles Habekost, and you see me basically explaining my case to Martin Habekost, who again did not. He was just like Kuhns to me. He didn't want to hear me out. When my first initial visit with him, it felt like I had a chance because he let me show him all the evidence. And when I showed them all that evidence, I think it scared them off a little bit. If I like set it up this way so I could click on what I got. See, they started to try to trial me. That's why you see motion of continuance of hearing. That stuff happen when the defendant chooses to go to trial, right? But this is just one of Martin Habekost's information. I got several of them, and what I want to do, let me see if it's under here. Y'all been kicking it with me. Alright, I'ma actually end this one after I show y'all a couple like what I've been doing with the fact that I told I was sending all kind of stuff to Martin Habekost dealing with Douglas Hanson, and he knew that I knew Douglas Hanson was dirty, so he hurried up and got me to take not even take probation and just continue on with the frivolous probation, because he knew what they was doing was dirty. And this is from Paige Clarkson's Marion County DA's office. I think we moved her picture out. We want her picture to be on there because she know Douglas Hanson committed crime. She know David Kuhns committed crime. And this is how I tie Martin Habekost in with my case. Is because if we go into Stephanie Allen's, Martin Habekost is actually defending this information that I'm sending over to Stephanie Allen. And I think in my probation folder, there's probation audios right here. And you know what I will do for you guys? I will let y'all hear, in fact, Martin Habekost.
Ready. This is Mr. Johnson.
Good afternoon, Mr. Johnson. Can you do me a favor? Keep your hands out of your pockets. All right, thank you. It's not you. Everybody's supposed to keep their hands out of their pockets.
Now, I gave Martin Habekost a lot of information.
How are we proceeding today, Mr. Habekost?
This will be a disposition. We entered admissions back on December 12, 2016. My understanding through conversations with Ms. Fisher that
Martin Habekost is so scared because what he's doing is wrong. He know it's wrong.
Complying very well with his probation in Portland. There's an email that came in this morning from his probation officer saying that he's doing well. So unless Mr. Palmer has a different.
What do you have as the state's recommendation, Mr. Hollander?
Violate and continue.
All right. So violate and continue.
Violate and
We're not
continue.
extending probation. I mean, I don't.
He'll be on probation until July of 2018.
So currently he's already on probation.
Yes.
So no need to extend. And then what about attorney's fees and probation violation fees? I don't know what the agreement is, Mr. Habekost. What did you think it was?
Well, we didn't.
What did you think it was? They didn't even discuss it.
$25 probationary fee. I'd asked the court not to impose the attorney fees of
$215.
But they still charge me with them. Come on, they lying.
Yeah, mine's on Social Security.
Are you on Social Security disability?
Yes.
How long have you been on that?
For about a year and a half.
Okay. Anything else you'd like me to know, Mr. Hollander?
No, Your Honor.
I will violate and continue your probation. I will not extend it. We'll just leave that probation where it's at. Sounds like you're doing some good things up in Multnomah County, which I can appreciate. I do also find that your ability to pay currently and in the future is limited based upon your disability benefits through the Social Security Administration, so I will not impose the $215 in court-appointed attorney's fees. However, I will impose a $25 probation violation fee. I think that's mandated by law. Okay?
Last matter I have for court, Mr. Johnson was very kind, gave me a bunch of information that help me defend him.
Oh, that I helped the prosecution. Did you not hear that part? Did you not hear that part on the court
Good luck, Mr.
audio?
Johnson. Keep up the good work.
Hold on. We gotta pull this. We gotta pull this over there. We gotta pull this over there. I want y'all to pay close attention how Martin the Habekost slips up.
Course ready. This is Mr. Johnson.
Good afternoon, Mr. Johnson. Can you do me a favor? Keep your hands out of your pockets. All right, thank you. It's not you. Everybody's supposed to keep their hands out.
No. Let's stop that. I want to take this and drag it over to this box right here.
Course ready to the Social Security. However, I will impose a 25-day bylaw. Okay?
Last matter I have for court, Mr. Johnson was very kind, gave me a bunch of information that I help me. Information that I help me. Information that I help information that I help me. Information that I help me. Information that I help me.
Yeah, that he helped the prosecutor with, and that's what I'm talking about. So thank you guys for watching me. I'm taking a break after that one. Most definitely.